right. We are live, I think. There we are. Wonderful. My OBS chat still does not want to work for me. Oh, maybe because I didn't select in my screen. Let's try that. Nope. Yes. I would like to get it back. Chat. For some reason it doesn't want to work on OBS. But I can make it work here, which is annoying to me. Because I would like to, I don't know if I can plug it into, I can plug it in. Text group deprecated? No. Scene, media source. Media source? Game capture, display camera, color source, browser. Do not see it. People do it somehow, but I don't know exactly how they do it. That's whatever. It don't matter. I can do this though. I can pop out chat. There we go. So I can do this and find that pop out chat and move it to somewhere that's profitable, like here maybe. Let's do that. Let's do, oh, that's not quite what I want. Can I do this? Sorry guys. Close that dockable window there. For some reason it's not letting me really, okay, that's not what I want. Maybe this needs to be more of a, that's what I would prefer for it to be, something like that, but not quite. I guess we'll put you over here. That'll work. Alright. There it is. I will be eating later tonight, so that's going to be fun. But for now, I did do some last layer learning earlier today. I learned a few OLLs, but have not done a full Megaminx solve in a couple of days, actually. Which is kind of crazy. That's not normal for me. Well, I guess it is. You know, like, cubing can take over your life sometimes, and it has in many ways taken over mine. And I need to work on not letting it do that so much, because it's not the most important thing in my life. And so, yeah. We will get done what we get done, and not necessarily everything. But that's okay. I'm going to try and talk less while I solve, because I think that makes me a better solver. Nope. It's the first solve, so we're allowed to mess up. Last layer might have saved me there, but yeah. 'Twas good. 'Twas good. I remember I started at 325, so I know kind of what I did today. I don't know, let me know in the chat if anybody's watching if you can see the Megaminx solve during the solve or if it's out of frame. Because I'm not watching the OBS monitor when I'm solving. So I don't know if it's dropping back out of it or not. Hopefully not. Looks like I'm not in front of the camera at all, which is good. Ah. Alright. Now 2 white pieces in the gray layer. That's never a good thing. Well, actually, it's not as bad as you would think. It's not as bad as you would think. Alright, we're going to do this. That was maybe the wrong decision. Nice. I like how bad that felt, and yet it was still a 58. I mean, it didn't feel too bad, but it didn't feel like anything special. And it was still like, it was a good number still. So that shows improvement. Oof, man. Oh, dang. Where's my food? Ah, okay. Like I said, we're just starting out. Gonna have some bad solves in there. That's allowed. That is allowed. I'm gonna go grab my food. I'll be right back. food. Ugh. Sweet. I really want tonight is a sub 40 single, which is kind of doesn't have to be tonight because it's kind of unrealistic to hope for that. But I feel like I'm there. My best right now is a 46, so any kind of PB I'd be okay with. But it'd be nice to get a sub 40. That would be amazing. That'd be amazing. I'll turn this whole monitor. There we go. See if we can get a little better angle with that webcam. This scramble looks kind of good. Yeah, this scramble looks great. That could have been better. I messed up an F12 pair, put it in wrong, so I had to devote some time to that. But I actually times probably 5 seconds better there because I had already built a chunk of S2L just above it, and I wanted to preserve that. So that's probably 5 seconds right there, which is kind of annoying. If I had to guess, I don't know for sure. Because it's not just the time it takes to fix it, it's the extra time it took because I was working around something and, you know, all that. Which I guess is just the time it takes to fix it. But let's tweak this ever so slightly here. So that it's just a little bit farther back, maybe just a little down. There we go. Hopefully that's a better range because I know I'm kind of in the. I hold my Megaminx closer when I solve, but it's still not so much that I can get ahead of it without really trying. I hope, but now I need to get comfortable again. But yeah. All right. This isn't the greatest star solution. But it'll do, donkey. Nice. 3 look last layer there. 3 look. I'm in a weird spot right now because I know like 130 PLLs out of 151. And I'm probably not going to learn the last 20 before my next comp. My next comp with Mega, that is. And yeah, so that means sometimes I have a 2-look Mega, 2-look PLL, but it's different than everybody else's 2-look, which it's always been different than everybody else's 2-look just because I learned a different like beginner 3x3 method, which messed me up for life. And I didn't bother to learn Megaminx based off of any tutorial. I just figured it out, and so I've been messed up for forever on that, which I'm okay with. I prefer that 2-look, especially with the PLLs I have left. Half of them reduce in like 7 moves to U-perm, and U-perm's like way better than a lot of things it could be, so I like that a lot. And then I just have the X-perms after that, and I just do the X1 alg, and that usually reduces it down to something good. Not always though. Sometimes it's bad. Well, and even when it's bad, it's still an L-perm, and like the L-perm algs are not bad. The recognition is hard, and there's only like 2 things it can be. So maybe even just 1. I haven't really noticed anything other than L1, which is one of the better ones. It's just, so if I know it's that, then I wouldn't even have to bother with recognition. So, I don't know. I found out what the Ks do if I do F1 to them today, because those are easy. They always give you a B perm, which I can live with that. Although I prefer to just do the K, because I know the alg for it. And we have yet another super easy star. This is actually one of the easiest ones I've ever seen. Well, maybe not that I've ever seen, but pretty close, man. Okay. There's probably a faster way to do that. There it is. Okay, I slowed down in the middle there. I do that sometimes. I get relaxed, and there's no sense of urgency, and I feel like there does need to be a sense of urgency when you speed solve that pushes you to turn just a little bit faster. And maybe it needs to push you to turn a lot more faster. I don't know. I'm not a fast turner, but there are times when I'm just kind of coasting and I should be pushing a little harder. I don't know if I'm even identifying that problem right, or if I'm describing it right, but it seems like a theme lately, even in like 3x3 solves. Because it's normally like a theme in big cube solves, but I'm even noticing it in 3x3 and stuff. So, yeah. Okay. Oh my word. That's called what you don't do. I like that solution. I'm not sure it was good, but I like it. Okay, we take 58. We take 58. Could have been better, definitely. I did like a big rotation I didn't need to do early on. But yeah, a lot of it was really good. At the end there, I like my solution for S2L, but again, I thought I was going a little slow, especially with like that complicated thing I did with kind of the last face of S2L there. I did something weird. I'm trying to remember exactly why, but some weird cancellation that I thought of on the fly, which is why I was slow, partially. That is a mis-scramble, which is fine. Okay. Another easy star. That I messed up. Hey, 54. Again, like I'm happy because it didn't really feel special. It didn't feel special. It was okay, but it didn't feel like something that was extraordinarily good. And it's a 54. I'll take 54s all day right now. My goal is a little bit lofty. I want to be sub 50 by the end of October, because I have a comp in the beginning of November, and I would like to win. And I think the only way I win is the only way I confidently win is if I'm confidently sub 50, and if somebody else doesn't improve very much in that time. So we'll see what happens, but I think I can. I think it's possible. I'm getting a lot of sub 50s, like 2 or 3 a session. Well, it depends on the session, but it's happening. So I think it's possible, but it's gonna take some doing. It's gonna take a lot of solving, probably, mostly. Maybe some other more specific stuff, but right now it seems like just grinding solves is what I need to do. But pretty good. Okay. I'm satisfied with that. Interesting. Wait a second, what? You gotta be careful with Mega. Because sometimes you build your star completely reversed, which means every edge is wrong. And that's not fun. Okay. The hard part is I have a couple of pairs I'd like to preserve here. Love that PLO. Love that one. I was watching Laser Monkey's example solves from forever ago, and he got it. And he was like, I don't know this, so he went right past it, and it's such a good one. Like, I'm not the greatest at executing it, but yeah. But yeah, that was funny. It's funny watching this because he was really fast at the time. He was like pushing sub 40, but he would be the first to tell you his last layer was awful. Like, not worse than 4-look. Like, he was okay, but there was a couple times where he had like a good PLL and he just went and like fixed the edges and got a K-perm, which isn't the worst. For him, it probably felt like it because, you know, it's probably the worst of the corner, the CPs, or the CPLLs, is what they call those. The worst one to recognize at any rate, although I don't think it's that bad to recognize, especially if you know the edges are solved. So yeah, he got that a couple times when he had an easier PLO that would have been something easy to recognize, and I'm just watching it like, oh no, don't. But you know, that's what happens when people don't know stuff. They don't know what they're missing, which is normal. Like, it takes you a while to learn how, but it depends. It doesn't really take that long to learn ALGs if you buckle down and do it, and if you've done it a lot. If I'm being truly honest, like, it doesn't take me a long time to learn ALGs. I have to be consistent in the application for like solidifying them. Do a lot of like either a lot of solves afterwards or like last letter training or something so that I don't forget them. But actually, like, learning the ALGs themselves does not take long at all. Learning to apply them and solve sometimes, if you don't do a lot of that right away, you can lose it pretty quick and forget them. Like, I've done that recently with some ZBLLs. I wanted to try and learn a bunch of ZBLL, and then I was like, oh no, I want to learn a bunch of Megaminx ALGs. And I didn't really practice 3x3 much, and I think especially for ZB, you gotta like, probably gotta do a lot of like last slot, last layer training, or even just ZBLL training to like all of them at once, not necessarily just the ones you've learned, in order to keep that solid, because in order to make it solid, I should say, because after you reach a certain point, you don't really need to do that anymore. But yeah, with just doing like OLO PLL solves, you're probably not going to get too many looks at the ZBs. But yeah, a bit of a rant, and I don't know how profitable that is, but it's been my experience, I guess. We have things, chat. We have things. Lots of things, actually. Okay. I'm gonna do this. Oh, it's there. That's annoying. Let's that up. Not bad. I thought maybe I corner twisted a lower corner, so I checked, and then I had a hard time recognizing the PLO, and then my execution was bad. compounding issues there, which ended my sub-1 streak. Had like 5 in a row? 5 in a row before that. That's okay though. It's okay. I'm solving better tonight than I thought I might, because last time I solved on stream, I just was solving really bad, although it was much later in the evening the last time I did it, and that might have contributed to that. But yeah, it was pretty bad, and I was like, oh, it's the stream, that's got to be it. But I think I was just trying to talk too much while I was solving and make things entertaining. And yeah, so yeah. Oh, wow. The S-perms might be most common. I don't know if they are, but they feel like it. I feel like I get a lot of S-perms. And they're not the easiest to recognize quickly. You can. They're not hard. The only two that I have a hard time like mixing up sometimes are ones I can't show because I'm scrambling this. Give it just a second, I have another mega. But they both have a pseudoblock in a similar spot, but one of them has another pseudoblock. And the one that has another pseudoblock is not as good an alg, at least in my opinion. Maybe I'm just executing it poorly. That's sometimes the case. Sometimes when I think an alg is bad, it's just because I haven't learned to execute it well. But so heavy compared to the other one. No. What in the world did I just do? I think I just discovered one of the feelers, I don't know. By accident. I'm having trouble with this. There it is. Yeah, it's not this one. It's this one. This S-perm where you just have the one pseudoblock here, this is the ideal case, in my opinion. But there's another one that looks like it, and it's like this. You have a pseudoblock here. So I see that and I go, oh crap, that's the one I like, but it's not because there's another pseudoblock here. And I mix these two up a lot. I've noticed that today. That one goes like this. And that's actually not that bad now. But I always want it to be the other one. And sometimes it is, and sometimes it's not. So I have to like pause and make sure there's not a pseudoblock elsewhere. I have options. I like that particular option. Oh wait, I did this wrong. Oh word, oh my, I really did this wrong. Pause is probably not very necessary. You never want to pause, but yeah. The start probably is what really messed me up on that one. This is kind of the beginning there. It'd be cool if we could get the general mean under, like for the session, under 1 tonight. That'd be kind of a cool mini goal. I don't know if that's possible. I've got a lot of solves on here now, and that would be like, well, it's still under like 500, so maybe. I gotta move it like 3 seconds, which if I solve a lot under 1, that should be doable. It was the last like 100 solves that kind of got me to where I would consider myself globally sub 1. I think I can still consider myself that. Yeah, but so that's like a third of the solves in this session. So it shouldn't be that hard to continue that. Oh, okay. This is hard. It's not. It's good. It's just, yeah, it doesn't really make sense. Oh, dang. Yeah, yeah. There was a cool solution in there somewhere. Yeah. It's interesting how sometimes with stuff like, they say you need example solves and slow solves, sometimes you can just learn that stuff on the fly. I don't know if it's just me, but maybe it's just my level, because I don't think I'm anywhere near the level in Megaminx that I am in 3x3. Like, and I don't think anybody is. I don't. Well, I mean, the highest Megaminxers probably are, but I kind of have this theory, and I haven't really thought this out completely, but that Megaminx has not been developed in the meta yet. It's not to the point that 3x3 and 4x4 and 2x2 and Square One and all these other events, they've largely been developed, and they're kind of reaching not the maximum potential by any means, but they're getting close. They're getting close to like the zero as far as what is maximum potential with these events. I think Mega is still a long ways away from that. At least for most people. Maybe not for the tippy top, but I think most people are not there. I'm the highest ranked in Megaminx of any event that I am ranked in, and I don't think like I'm pushing sub 10 on 3x3. I don't think I'm that level with Megaminx. I don't think I'm there yet. Maybe I am. I don't know. I don't know. But that's kind of where I'm thinking. I don't think I'm quite to the point where I have to push as hard to improve on Megaminx as I do on 3x3. Like on 3x3, it probably, like, it's going to require a lot of solves and stuff, but it's going to require some focus on flow initially at least, and then maybe some other things that I need to improve, like TPS. I don't even know what. But like, it's getting to the point where now where I can't just grind solves and learn a new thing every now and again with 3x3. I'm still at that point, I think, with Megaminx. Maybe I'll be at that point forever with 3x3. It feels like grinding solves is the answer right now, but with a focus on good look ahead and faster turn speed when possible. I don't know. I may have reasoned myself out of my theory, but that's okay. Another really good star. This one is a miscramble, but it's okay. But yeah, this is a fantastic star. That's annoying. That's nice though. That was a K. I don't know what the answer is there because I don't want to take the time to recognize what PLL I have when I don't see any blocks. I just want to do F1 and do the easy alg. But sometimes when it's a K, like that's an easy alg that I know. But the problem is when you just see it like this, you don't necessarily know what's what. Maybe the answer is when I don't see a lot of blocks, pseudo blocks I mean, then I take a second and look. That might be it. Because there's only like 3 X's that don't have a lot of pseudo blocks like readily available. I guess there's a couple more. There's one with a single F block, and then there's one with a single V block. Maybe I just need to learn all the X perms. Maybe that's what I need to do. I don't really want to, because they are hard to recognize. But do I have speed QDV on speed dial? I do. This is one of the best sites, although I should have Drive. I should have this too, if it is signed in. It's probably not. There we go. I should have this one up too, because this is Nicholas Nyang's one, or some other. I think it's more than him, but how do I open this? I don't use Drive very much. This is another good one. Sometimes it's got better algs. I can't figure out how to open this. Do I just double click it? I double click it. Okay, sweet. We're figuring out technology. But yeah, let's PLL algs. Yeah, we want the. I like the way it's organized. The PLLs. Like it's organized in a good order to learn. In fact, they know exactly what I want here, I think. This looks like the J. Yeah, this is the J's. That's the F block. No, this is the F. These are the F1s. These are the ones where you're like, yeah, you just do the thing. Although maybe it's better to learn it. I don't know. And then X3 and 4, I believe, are the ones I probably need to learn. Yeah, that's the single F block and not the single V block. That's just a horrid mess is what that is. Then over here we have, okay, the single V block here and the X7s. I don't like these, but these are the ones I think I need to learn. And they have Y rotations in them. The top two algs have Y rotations in them. Alright, X7. No blocks, nor headlights. Let's take a look at X7. X7 minus, this doesn't look too bad. No, that's not bad. Of course, then I have to remember how to recognize this, and I believe the way I recognize it is by the corners. I used to know all this. I used to know all of PLL. But that was a long time ago. Okay, this is just a... Okay. Easy alg. It's not hard to execute. Fast. Knowing what angle to execute it from, I think is probably going to be a challenge, because I don't think this... Oh, it is symmetrical. Okay. That's going to help. I did it wrong, but that's really going to help. This is... this one. See, sometimes L's are kind of a pain to recognize. And you get some of them very infrequently. I'm just going to choose a random look and do this. Yeah, okay, so this is symmetrical. I don't have to care about what angle it is. This one is this one. Oh, I think I remember this. I was always having to relearn this. Why is this different from the other one? That's what I want to know. I assume this is the right alg. In fact, this might I accidentally matched the picture. But why is it different? What's different about it? Is it the way they match? No. The edges go a different way. Something to do with the edges. But what exactly, I don't know. Something to do with how they match. This is gonna really... Oh, that's it. Okay. I should check these algs to see if there's anything better. Does not look like it. For this one, I don't really care about the other one. It's a good one. Wants me to do this, and I don't like this idea at all. I mean, it's kind of cool out, but yeah, I prefer this. Wherever it went. Yeah. It's just, it's very fast. The problem is I'm going to have trouble with this because it's not going to come up very often. That was my problem with X1. X1 is a really easy alg, but it never came up. So I would often, when it came up, I would be like, oh crap, I don't remember this. I'm just going to have to do something else, and it would mess up my solve. So, speaking of, yeah. Okay, that wasn't right. It's just like some weird variation of J-perm, kind of. It feels like it. Speaking of ones that come up a lot. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to, hopefully from memory, do both of these algs from the pink face, and we're going to figure out what's different. Alright, so looking at it, the corners are a little different. That's interesting, although they won't be if I do that. Okay. Corners should all be the same right now. The edges are different. Oh, is that true for everything? Matches this way, matches this way, matches this way. Okay, sweet, I figured it out. I think. Yeah. This is fantastic. Okay. On this one, which I forget which one this is, I think this is X7 minus. This edge, if you're looking at the front, would match this corner. So in my head, it's like moving from here to, it's moving to the right. On this one, it's this edge moves to the left to match that back corner. That's what's going on here. It may work also for, you could also do, see if I can do this right, this corner and this edge, it looks like, which might be easier to like mentally think through. But yeah, so when it's moving right, we do this one. Okay, yep. So when it's right, we do that one. That was probably noisy. And when it's left, we do this one. I don't know if I learned to recognize them like that before. When I was learning X way back when. But we're gonna put those into the mix and see if it helps me pause and not avoid Ks. And if I still have trouble, if I pause and I run into the V block or the F block, we'll learn those too. You guys got an inside look at how quickly it takes me to learn algs. Like I would normally go into a trainer and train those cases specifically for a bit, but with those two cases, I'm kind of confident in my ability to just do well. For some reason, my focus is not wanting to work right now. Maybe I'm just, that's not gonna help me at all. Like, I don't know. This looks a little out of focus to me. I had this problem the other night. I'm gonna disconnect it and reconnect it here. Try and fix it. There we go. Yeah. Maybe it's just my screen. Maybe it's OBS. I don't know. It doesn't look a whole lot better, but I think it is. At least I hope it is. This pizza is very good. I'm very grateful. All right. Hoping for a skip. It looked like there could be a skip. But we'll take it. A-perms are easy, except when they're not. I have trouble sometimes recalling the alg for A-perm for some reason. Or like the ones that look kind of like 3x3 A-perm. And I'm not sure why that is. Yeah, but it gives me grief sometimes. And I'm not sure why that is. It's a little annoying. And it's not one of them. It's only one of them that gives me a problem. And I'm not sure why. But hopefully I've licked it. I put something specific in my memory. Remember that it's starting with an I. Oh, see, now I can't do it. No, I can't. Okay. Yeah, it starts with an R prime. I'm just remembering that because my tendency is to want to start it with an R. It's this one, where the block is next to it. My tendency is to want to do this, but I need to start with this. And then I remember it. Because the alg is completely muscle memory. I don't have really any visual cues very much. Like, I kind of know what it's doing, but... Okay. Oh crap, this is not ideal. Oh, that one was just bad from beginning to end. I started to clean it up towards the end there, I guess, but yeah, that was just bad. We're gonna walk in though. It's gonna be okay. That's more like it. That's more like it. I love how easy those feel. They don't feel unusual. Like, obviously, I'm getting bad times here too, but like, these feel just like normal salts. They don't feel fast. And it's a 56. It's not even barely sub 1. It's deep in there, you know? We're moving the right direction. I think I'm probably, it's hard to remember, but I think I'm a better Megamixer now than when I quit. Which is cool. It's cool to be improving. I don't know that for sure, because I don't remember exactly what my numbers were, but it feels like it. And I think my numbers are better, but I don't remember. Logo feels weird. Okay. Interesting. Let's do this. Need to learn those oils, I guess. Oof, man, is this really that bad? Is that really that bad? Come on. Ugh. That was a fun misturn. I don't know if I've done that before. Well, no, I guess I have. Oh dang, I know this. There's a lot ounces for that. Wow, that was a bad time. I forgot that Olo, but I know it, so I had to make sure I did it right. I don't know if I could do it from scratch though. I'm not generating it. But yeah, that's what that was. Alright. Come on. I don't think that was worth it. Last layer almost saved me there. Almost saved me. That's sweet. I like it when there's multiple white pieces attached to the star. It means it's probably going to be an easier scramble. See a couple of potential first pairs. Let's pause before we do AUF. Why not? Wow, that wasn't really good. I'm not very comfortable right now. Alright, we're going to take a mental reset here. I'm going to scramble this. And then I'm going to go reform my food because it needs that. And maybe make some tea. Something hot to drink would be nice right about now. Refill my water too because I need to do that. Alright, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, we're back. There's a lot that's good here. That had a lot of potential. That scramble had a lot of potential. Decent solve, though. I feel like there was more there, and I was nervous because I thought maybe I could get a PB on it. I don't think I could have, but that was kind of my thought there for a while. Oof. This is a miscramble. It's a really good miscramble, but I kind of want to keep it. You know what? We're at home. We're at home. I need to stop stressing about stuff like that. But that is 3 cross pieces right there. Which actually, now I'm looking at it, I know where this cross piece should be. Looking at the screen. It would be 1 move away, so you know what? This really isn't that much worse. In fact, we can just fix it. Yeah. A lot of this is right. Yeah, everything's right. You know what? We'll just move it. I mean, it's not quite exactly right, but yeah. Wow, this is a really good scramble. Oh no. Of course it's back there. That scramble was so good. Like, I probably could have done 4 of the cross pieces, 4 of the star pieces, and first pair pretty close to blind. I don't know if it would have been blind, but that's like the stuff legend right there. Good. really bad at the end there. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Got a little bailed by last layer there. My turning initially in that salt was very bad. Like there was a couple of just dumb decisions there where it just made my turning worse. Not necessarily because the turning's bad, although my turning could be better, I think. I just needed to rotate so I wouldn't have such awkward turning, and I didn't a couple times. And initially, with the star realignment, I did it with like 2 wrist turns. That was bad. You don't do that. Ooh, boy. All right, come on. Oh, interesting. I thought I saw that somewhere. Yeah, there goes my timer. But yeah, that's not a bad solve. Not quite right. Oh, interesting. There's an opportunity for an X cross here, an X star, I should say. It's going to be hard, though. I think this will do it. Okay. Maybe not the most efficient way to do that, but. That was a bad rotation. I can't find this edge. There it is. How do you mess up that? Is literally the easiest PLL in the entire history of PLLs. Like, this is insane. So easy. So easy. Alright, come on. We gotta lock in here. Streaming. Hour and a half? Alright, we're gonna call this good because I am solving worse, I think, because of streaming, and I need something to distract me. So I'm gonna stop here. Thanks, guys. Have a good day. Yeah. I'll see you again sometime soon, I think.